Red Lipstick Club, the episode we've been waiting for, has arrived. It's the finale of Sister Wives. Let's talk about it. Hey everyone, welcome back to Red Lipstick Reality TV. We're back, y'all. Hey Red Lipstick Club. If you're new here, you guys, hey, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. You're gonna love this video. We're gonna really talk about it today. If you're coming back, Red Lipstick Club, I see you. Hey y'all, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. But if you're a club member, you should be one, right? Also, make sure you guys hit the like button, share it within all your platforms for people that you know love Sister Wives, because I'm pretty sure a lot of us were yelling, crying, not crying, but definitely yelling at the TV during this episode. It was a moment. We saw a lot of things that we have been waiting to see, heard a lot of things we have been waiting to hear, and I'm going to get into every last bit of it. And of course, I have multiple WTF moments that I cannot wait to chime in on. Y'all, it was real. If you haven't checked too, you guys, I launched members. So now we have memberships on Red Lipstick Reality TV, which means when we're doing these tell-alls that are coming up in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be doing live reactions. And my second tier, my Red Lipstick Lover and above tiers, will be actually able to see my live reactions to the episodes on top of getting the reviews. So if you're interested in supporting the channel just a little bit more, that's awesome. If you're not, thank you for at least coming to the channel, watching it, hitting the like button, all those things, you guys, commenting, all those things help me to keep my channel going and helps it to grow. So thank you. So you guys know I broke it down in segments. Oh, side note, the background, I'm running on my bare minimum opportunities here, you guys. I'm visiting my family out of town for the holidays. We all know how that goes. So good luck to this lighting and this background. Yeah, we're just gonna make it work. But there's no way I was going to wait a whole week to talk about this. So yeah, we're doing the video. We're doing it. And thanks for your patience on letting me watch it, because the internet is not at its top speed out here. So either way, happy Thanksgiving, or, you know, for all of you guys that will be celebrating with your families, you know, enjoy it. Without further ado, segment one, y'all. We're still talking about Mary's anniversary. I don't want to talk about this anniversary anymore. And I'm so glad I don't have to. After this episode, the only time I'm going to have to apparently hear about it maybe one more time is during this tell-all. But I'm hoping after that I will not have to hear any more about this horrible anniversary where this man told her he didn't want to be married to her. After he's told her a million times he didn't want to be married to her. But apparently they thought maybe we weren't listening and we needed to hear it again. But okay. So I know a lot of us too have been talking about Mary being confused about his decision. And I'm just like, Mary, you know, it's just sad. I think it's just sad to watch, you know. It's like, God, Mary, like you're loyal to your own detriment at this point. But this is where I'm going to insert you guys my first WTF moment right here.
Or covenant. He's already broken it. I really feel like I was emotionally abandoned by him many, many years ago. Well before the catfishing. Well before the catfishing. It's
all right, y'all. So Mary finally admits, that she has been emotionally abandoned for years now, even prior to the catfishing. We have all been saying this. We've all said that he had abandoned this marriage even before the catfishing happened. So, which is why I think a lot of us felt she was vulnerable to be catfished, because he had basically he just had all but abandoned her emotionally at that point. And because Cody doesn't want to admit fault to anything, he would never admit that. But I'm so glad that now that Mary is doing the talking heads and she's like looking back on what happened, she can clearly see this man emotionally abandoned me. And that's really the first step to moving on, isn't it? Like being able to recognize when someone has deliberately made moves at the detriment of your relationship, and also at the detriment of your personal feelings. Like, it's pretty clear if he's emotionally abandoning you, he doesn't really care much about you. It's pretty clear. So I'm glad that she finally said that out loud. And I know for me, I was at the TV like, thank you. Like, WTF, Mary, what took so long for you to say that this man has been emotionally abandoning you? We've all seen it. He abandoned all 3 of the OG wives. Then we do a flashback to Robin saying, you need approval for divorce. And this is for me, when she does this, she talks about how Cody, Mary talks about how Cody said he wouldn't care if they moved on, if she moved on and got married to somebody else. And then Mary basically says, like, this was insulting and vulgar for him to say something like that about our relationship. And I'm just like, yeah, Mary. But I'm thinking now, you guys, based off the timeline, it seems as though when they did the tell-alls last year, she had yet to see maybe some of those, or something's off with that, because she didn't say that it was vulgar or that it was insulting to her in the tell-all last year. And this happened last year. This happened on last year's season. So why did she not mention how that really made her feel in last year's tell-all? I mean, I'm glad that she's doing it now in the talking heads, but the timelines feel a little off to me with how she's responding to it. I don't know. This also is where they're talking about the conversation that they need to have. And for me, it's like, Mary, the only conversation at this point you need to have is how he's going to split up this property to make sure you walk away with your own estate. And honestly, you need to get together with Christine, not Christine, but you need to get together with Janelle, and you two need to get a forensic accountant and dig deep into what's going on here. Because that to me is my only concern at this point for Mary. It is, I don't want her to do anything romantically with Cody. That ship has sailed. Let that go. But what I do want is Mary has put in just like everybody else and longer. And she has, and everybody knows that Mary was one of the wealthiest one of them, because she really exploded with her MLM stuff. So she has been investing in the money pot for the group for a long time. And she, I believe, put in for the houses for Christine and the house for Robin that Cody lives in. So we're going to get into that discussion on how they're going to be breaking that up, but that was a moment. Now we're going to flashback, y'all, in this segment. They're going to go back to with Christine and Janelle and them visiting their brothers. But this is what we're going to talk about, my WTF moment number 2. Watch this.
It's interesting that Christine and Janelle have a newfound relationship, because I think it was more antagonistic before. I wish it wasn't so, but it seems to me that they are united in a common enemy against me and Robin, because they've got nothing good to say about us.
Just you guys.
Okay, y'all. So Cody again is sticking his 2 cents in for some reason. Well, we know the reason. The reason is narcissism, but he still believes that everything revolves around him. Christine and Janelle are not friends out of hate. Christine and Janelle are friends because they have learned to respect and love each other, and that formed over the years for them. And it did because they ultimately were each other's spouses in this situation. In this arrangement, the way it was set up, Janelle was a provider and Christine was the nurturer. And they basically raised their kids together. Mary was kind of floating over here, really struggling with infertility. And I think had that not been a battle for her, she would have been a lot more involved in the child rearing as well. But I think that's something she very much struggled with. And I do not believe Cody helped her to not struggle with it. So for Cody to think that the only reason Christine and Janelle are close is for their mutual hate for him and Robin, he has lost his mind. I'm sorry, guys. We live near an airport, or we're by an airport. You might hear a flyover. My bad. Anywho, they're not together because of you, Cody. They stayed together because they raised children together. They loved each other as time went on. Obviously, there's going to be some jealousy and some issues they're going to have because they are 2 grown women living in homes sharing a man. Hello. How would you not have normal growing pains and normal issues? But at the end of the day, they looked out for each other. So I just thought he he is so self-absorbed. Like, nobody cares about you. Janelle definitely doesn't care about you. Janelle definitely. Or Robin. They do not care about y'all. The moment they stepped away from you, all of a sudden they all have a light back in their eyes. They seem happier. They seem more fulfilled. And this is something too that I noticed is that Cody talks about how he knew Christine's brothers and from the past, and prior to the divorce, he would call them friends. I don't know why that would go away. A lot of us have had parents that have gotten divorced, and the only reason why maybe they wouldn't want to talk to you after is because you were a terrible person. So if they don't want to be friends with you, it's probably because you were a terrible person, Cody, which I'm sure you would never admit. I also think too, when I'm looking at the families, it's like Janelle's talking about how she's finally getting to know her brothers. And I'm just like, for you guys that have been in plural marriage for all these years, why didn't you know her brothers better? Were they not connected to the family? Did they never spend time with the family? Was Janelle or Christine told to basically abandon her siblings? I don't know. But I thought that was kind of interesting that Janelle didn't really have a relationship with these brothers that Christine clearly seemed close to. I would like to know more about that. If you guys know anything about that, if you know that maybe, I don't know, Christine stopped talking to them. That was just interesting to me that this is really one of the first times Janelle has had any real interaction with her brothers. I thought that was kind of stood out for me personally. I loved this segment, you guys, where Janelle and Christine talk about Janelle going back to school and being an adult learner with children. I have worked in higher education now for the better part of 15 plus years. I am myself someone that was an adult learner that went back to school later in life and have, obtained quite a bit of education, and it has substantially impacted my life and my earning potential, and just honestly, overall how I feel about myself, my confidence level by doing that. And I'm always will be a proponent for people to pursue their education, because it just really does open doors for you. And thinking about these communities and how they held women back and telling them you don't need education, the world's going to end. I find it interesting that Christine's dad would go behind the church's back and tell Janelle, tell Christine, well, actually, this is a whole joke about the end of days. You need to go to college. That's crazy to me. So it's like the whole notion that any of you guys were really truly that bought into this religion doesn't really add up for me, because it really seems that you guys recognize from day one that this is all a joke. And this is just for this part, men are making this up. This is, you're following the word of a random man. So I just thought that was interesting that Christine kind of pointed that out, that even her dad was like, yeah, that's not happening, go to college. But I just want to salute Janelle for that, because it's not easy to go back to school, especially back then. She was going to school online. That's years ago, you guys. That was at the beginning of when online education was really coming out. And it's not where it's at now. So for her to have been able to successfully complete her degree with her kids, thank goodness for Christine helping her out with doing some babysitting and stuff. I just want to give just a huge shout out to Janelle for that. I just have so much respect for her. I'm just really proud of her that she was able to do that, and that she's really pushed that for her daughters within, once they were, even though they were still in the community, to push them. Now it makes sense why she was pushing her daughters to go to school right after graduation and earn their degrees, because she knew how hard it was to get one at being a parent and trying to go back to school. It's just not easy at all. So shout out to all you guys that have had a chance to maybe go back to school and finish it. And if you wanted to go back to school, if you thought about it, do not put it off. I'm telling you, it is probably one of the best decisions I ever made years ago to go ahead and do it. Incredibly fulfilling. And there are lots of options out there, and a lot of affordable ones now too, that you can do it. Getting off my soapbox about that. So, they also, oh guys, this is where also they talk more about food storage, and we have seen them do a little bit about it, but they really have never dived in deep about the religious connection to food storage. And if you have been following a lot of the fundamentalist groups and YouTube channels and watched some of the other ones, we've actually seen this kind of end of days story and food storage type of focus in a lot of these fundamentalist communities where they're all basically preparing for the end of days and they're storing food for that time. And the Brown family had that. And I do remember Kody asking Christine about the food storage when they were moving stuff out of her house because they stored it there. And she said, no, I don't want it. She's basically like, I don't want none of this mess. I don't believe in any of it. And I don't want any of it. And you can tell that this is where Kody's also pulling back from the indoctrination of everything too, where he's like, this is just costing me money and space. I don't know why we have it still either way. And then even Meri, who seems like one of the real loyal ones to everything, even Mary's like, yeah, I don't really buy into that. I've almost never bought into that. So it's just funny how I feel like sometimes in these religions, they pick and choose what they want to follow staunchly and what they want to like hang their hats on, and things that they just say, oh no, I don't care about. That just tells you that it's up to the eyes of the beholder, as we say. They also talk about, Janelle brings up Robyn's kids because they're talking about maybe doing a family reunion. And Janelle's like, this would be like a nice place to have a family reunion. And they bring up Robyn's kids. And they bring up how Christine and Janelle's kids are always talking about how much they miss Robyn's kids. And Janelle talks about how her boys really miss Dayton, which you could tell that they really had started to connect with him and had their own relationships with him. We've even seen pictures of like Hunter going hiking and stuff with Dayton. And I don't really think Dayton's really bought in on this whole Kody Robyn shenanigans. I mean, I think that kid's like, you took me from my dad, basically. Like, I just don't think he's bought in at all. And he probably is just as mad too. And I hope that he's able to one day just get the courage to break away from that. Because I think he'd find a lot of open, loving arms for him on the other side if he wanted to connect with Janelle and Christine and their children. But this, to me, hearing this really just validated for me that it's just been a lot of brainwashing by Robyn to make her kids feel like victims and to keep that separation and to make herself a victim to Kody and her kids a victim to Kody to keep him on her side. And now it's all backfiring because it's pretty clear that those Christine and Janelle's kids loved Robyn's kids. It's all been Robyn keeping them from them. So it's just, God, it's sad, y'all. When I look at them, like Brianna and Aurora and them, I'm just like, because you know, last episode we pointed out with Aurora, that scene with her, it's a lot. It's a lot. It just makes me sad. It just feels like a lot of brainwashing, and it's just really sad. All right, y'all, moving on. Segment 2 is the picnic table showdown. We're here. We've made it, y'all. We've made it to the picnic table. We're ready for this conversation. This is this first segment. Okay, guys, so now that we're back for this picnic showdown, they're basically apparently getting together to talk about the property, right? Why we're just now talking about the property after all this stuff has happened, I don't know. Christine has been gone for a very long time now. Janelle has been separated from Kody for a very long time now. So why are we just now having Meri and Kody talk about property? I just find that interesting, but okay. He talks about, as soon as they get to like the table, y'all, he talks about walking the property. He's already trying to distract Meri from the conversation he knows they're probably going to end up having. And I'm just like, this guy, like, nobody cares about walking the property, Kody. You guys have walked that property now 17,000 times, talking about the shoulda, coulda, wouldas of what you're going to do with it and where you're going to move and being in the trees, outside the trees, along the trees. Nobody cares. Nobody needs to see the property anymore. We need to talk about the money and the ownership involved in the property. That's it. This is crazy to me. Like, he's a swindler. And I'm just like, let's talk about it. So we're finally getting to the point where we're actually going to talk about the money. And Kody's basically saying he thinks he should own a lot. The family lot where this fake pond was supposed to be at, he's going to put apparently in his name. Why Kody keeps trying to deflect from the point that Robyn is legally married to him and thus has access and will be given half of his estate is not lost on me. His manipulation of money and the family money is borderlining on a criminal levels for me right now. And I really need Janelle and Meri to get together. Janelle, I don't care that you don't talk to her. Talk to her now. You two need to get together, and you guys need to get a forensic accountant to get this money stuff in order and get this land divided equally, because this is a problem. This is a problem when we're watching this. Mary at this point also is like, she's finally talking about the money aspect of this. And she's talking about how she's invested into the family 4 years now, into a family with a man that has completely emotionally abandoned her. Could you imagine, you guys, investing tens upon thousands of dollars into a family with a man that doesn't even want to be with you? I know people are really mad about the independent woman in recent years, but when you see women like this get taken advantage of, you see exactly why we need to be so independent and why we need to have our own money and our own things. Because looking at how this has all played out, Mary gave up her marriage, and now look where Mary's at, dealing with this. Not having her own estate, not having her stuff free and clear. She's financially bound to Cody too, just like Janelle. It was just manipulative. Now Cody puts it on Mary as to why these other women have had issues with her and didn't want the pond on Mary's property because Mary at points did not want to share resources. With that being said about Mary and these resources, you guys, I feel like just Cody has a lot to do with this. And I'm not saying that Mary probably wasn't selfish through this, but I think she really struggled with watching these women just have kid after kid. And obviously they're going to require more resources for this, but because they weren't her children, and I think it was made clear and known to her from Cody, like, oh, you need to give up more of what you have, Mary, because you're not having any children. I just think she really struggled with that. And I truly believe there would have been a huge difference in the relationships that Mary had with Janelle and Christine if she would have been able to have more children. I mean, it's just, unfortunately, I think this is, it really had a terrible impact on her being able to bond with those two. But this is where I'm going to enter my WTF moment 3, y'all. Robin talks about what if her and Cody didn't stay together. And she's pretty much the legal wife. So check this clip out.
We have no idea what the future holds. I'm not saying that Cody and I are going to really split up, but I mean, it's just like, I deserve my fourth too, is what my point is. Not to be counted with Cody. I actually get tired of that, to constantly always be counted with Cody. And like, everybody always thinks that if Cody has it, Robin has it. Cody says it, Robin says it. Cody thinks it and feels it, Robin thinks and feels it. That is not true.
Okay. Why should Robin get her own 4 acres? Why should she? Because outside of this show, financially, what has Robin contributed to this family? She's had no job. She's had no job. And Sister Wives is not profitable. Sister Wives Closet was not profitable. So why would she, based off what's happening right now between Mary and Janelle and Cody, why should Robin, separate from Cody, get just as much as Janelle and Mary? And this is why you need a forensic accountant to see how the money's moving. Because I really need to see how much money Janelle was putting in, how much money Mary was putting in, how much money Cody was putting in, and Robin, all separately. And Janelle talked about, like, we need to have somebody actually survey this land, see what it's worth, and then divide it properly. She's being too nice. She's actually saying it should not be equal. How much money did each of you guys put into the pot, the family pot? How much money? Because Mary, Janelle, you guys have more years on Robin, which means you've been investing into this family significantly longer than she has. If she divorces Cody, guess what? She'll get half of whatever Cody got. So what should happen is she should get 2 acres, if that. I'm being generous, but maybe 2 acres. And then if she divorces Cody, she'll get half of what he has. That's it. You get no more on your own, Robin. And you shouldn't get that. You should be lucky we gave you that. Ultimately, Cody is so manipulative. And he's also, they ask the question, Robin brings it up, oh, I'm assuming he's keeping this property to himself because I'll have the stuff that'll pass down to my children and he's going to pass his down to like the family and everybody. And now we see he's had no desire to do that. Robin, he's been living plural marriage in your brain this whole time. Cody has not been living plural marriage, y'all. He checked out of this a long time ago. And this whole scenario with him and the land and how he wasn't planning on making this family land when he left this earth tells me everything I need to know. Like, this guy is selfish. Christine should have him on child support. Janelle should have put him on child support. Like, this just tells me you should have put that man on child support. This has just been eye-opening for me. I don't know if I'm mad at myself. Like, I'm just like, this guy is, he is the ultimate villain. He is the ultimate villain. He is Jim Bob Duggar. Like, I really want to do a side-by-side video with comparing Jim Bob to Cody because they have a lot in common. Money manipulation is, wow. I mean, and then this is also where Mary talks about how it was like kind of constantly thrown in her face that she only had one baby and therefore she's seen as less and she should have less. And she knows what he's thinking, that she's thinking she shouldn't get as much because she has less children. Was she putting in less money? I doubt it. She hasn't been part of the family for years and she's still been putting into this family. Get out of here. Give Mary her property. This is crazy to me. Woo, got me hot, y'all. Segment 3. We're back to Christine's family's house. Normally, y'all, I would think it's really cute to watch Christine and her family have a good time. It's super cute. But this Mary conversation is now really getting good at this point, and I'm like, go back to Mary and Cody. Finally, I want to actually see what's happening here. I love you, Christine. Janelle, I don't care what y'all are doing right now. But I do think it's funny that Christine said she left first because she likes to win. She wanted to win. So she left Cody first. That was hilarious. They're also kind of now actually talking a little bit about why Christine left. And I guess apparently I really hadn't talked to her brothers about why she left Cody. And she flat out tells him, like, this man told me that he was basically never attracted to me when he got with me. He had no attraction to me. He wasn't going to have a real marriage with me anymore. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like, one of the brothers was like, I don't buy that he was never attracted to you. And I'm just like, whether he was or wasn't, the fact that he would even feel it's okay to tell your wife that you weren't attracted to her, just tells me he was setting them up to get divorced. And he's been lying this whole time, you guys. He said those things because he knew that it would push her to the point where she would eventually leave him. He alienated Mary with affection. He alienated her emotionally because he knew eventually he could get rid of her if he did that. With Janelle, he started messing with her children, and he found her sweet spot to get rid of her is to start messing with her children. And now he's finally where he wants to be at, which is a monogamous and no longer dealing with his original wives, but keeping all the money that they've contributed. Also, I didn't know this, but I guess Cody at one point, well, I didn't know that he was on the house with Christine, but I didn't know that he'd made the steps to remove himself so he could get a house with Robin. And the fact that Cody doesn't understand what that means, where, you know, Christine has always just been a third wife, right? You've really never had anything with your names on them together. And I think once they came out for Christine, it was like, I need to feel legitimized. Like, it's just not enough for me. I need you to be on paper with me. I need you to be committed. And the reason I think she felt that way is because he was so overly committed to Robin that it really made them start to question the commitments he had to the rest of them. And I think had he not done that, they wouldn't be asking him to be on paperwork and things like that, because he would have kept the commitments he had to them, but he'd stopped doing that. That's why Christine's like, you're dropping the ball, bro. Like, you're dropping the ball all around. And now you don't want to be on my property. It ended up working in her favor. Thank God she was able to get out of that marriage and keep her house and keep it moving. But I understand why that was frustrating for Christine, for him to not want to be on the house with her. And they also kind of bring up a little bit that Janelle has nothing in her name, which is why she had stayed with Cody for so long. And that he just is basically, Cody has the same issue. Cody has abandoned everybody but Robin. And I don't know why Robin doesn't get that or doesn't understand that, but it's pretty clear as day that he abandoned everybody but you. Everybody. It's sad. You guys, Janelle's still talking about this spiritual marriage thing. And she said that her kids don't really know if she's left Cody because she doesn't really date or anything. And I don't think it's the fact that she hasn't been dating. I feel like it's more so the fact that she can't just flat out say that she's left him and that she's divorced him. And she's kind of holding on to this religious doctrine that you're really actually not even practicing. And I think that's why it's confusing for your kids, because they're thinking to themselves, Mom, when's the last time you've even been to church for this? Why are you holding on to your religious doctrine when it comes to this marriage? And I think at some point, Janelle's just going to have to admit that she feels as if she doesn't hold on to the religious portion of it, then it gives no validity to the marriage that she invested 30 years into. And I think if she admits that to herself out loud, she doesn't want to give him the satisfaction, but I think that actually does bother her. I think that if she removes the religion from it, then that makes her marriage no longer valid, and it's as if it never happened. And it's still valid, Janelle. I mean, but stop holding yourself to these religious standards that you're not even really practicing. You're not going to church. You're not involved with it. It just feels strange to me that you would still have that connection when you're not even practicing it. Really, you're just not. All right, y'all, moving forward. Segment 4, we're back to the picnic table. Thank God, because this picnic table talk is getting juicy. Mary just basically says the B&B needs her. It has nothing to do with the B&B, Mary. The bottom line is, you know, this man is not going to get back with you. He's not going to have a full marriage with you, and you're ready to go. And it's pretty clear as day that he's not going to have one. And then she basically tells Robin, like, I'm not going to renew the lease because there's no need for me to be here based off the conversation I had with Cody and the fact that the B&B needs me there. And Robin playing stupid again, like she doesn't know what this means. You know what this means, Robin. I think we're just now at this point really seeing the level of manipulation that Robin played a part in. And the fact that Christine called it out as disgusting, that Robin has been continuing to push Mary to stay into this situation. And I can guarantee you guys that Cody told Robin, I have no interest in Mary anymore. And Robin, because she is stuck in this religious doctrine of polygamy that she has not contributed at all to making work, is forcing Cody to placate Mary into believing there's any hope whatsoever. And I truly believe Robin has known this entire time that there was no hope whatsoever that Cody was going to be back in a marriage with Mary. And she sat around here and had Mary believe that she should stick around and fight for something that she knew full well she would never get. That is cruel, and that is cruel beyond measure. That is beyond cruel. Robin, there's a special place in you know what for people that do that to people. And your time's coming for that one, because that's really cruel for you to do. And it's all kind of coming out now, you guys. Like, Cody's basically validating, like he number one, he basically validates that he's been faking everything. He's been doing it for years to appease Robin. He doesn't care at all about these other women. It's all been fake. Mary says that she should not have to apologize, and I'm proud of her for saying she should not have to apologize to Robin for what's happening. She should not, and do not apologize to her. Then this clown Cody brings up looking at the lot again. Do you want to look at the lot? Nobody cares about the lot, Cody. Your family's done. You're no longer a polygamist in this moment. And you're just acting like nothing's happening. Like it's just no big deal. And he doesn't want it to be public because ultimately that's going to impact him financially and impact his reputation. He's so selfish, y'all. Oh my God. He also didn't want her to be public because ultimately what's happening, you guys, guess what? They're asking questions about the money and the property. And they're gonna start digging through the closets and digging through the bones on this. And it's gonna get really messy. And I'm surprised we haven't seen anything really pop out yet about it, about them taking a deeper dive into the finances. I am waiting for that, you guys, because I really think we're gonna see some skeletons really be pulled out the closet when it comes to the finances of the Brown family. And I am waiting, and I'm wondering, you guys, in this tell-alls, if we're gonna see more information regarding the finances of the Browns, because it's fishy. Cody now is doing his manipulative woe is me talk, saying that you're blaming me, so on and so forth. That conversation never even went there, but guess what, Cody? You are about 90% to blame for this. I don't know what you... And then Robin's running her mouth, and finally she shuts up. She's like, oh, shut up. You're finally being quiet, Robin? You're finally getting out of other people's relationships? Okay. And Mary giggling, I mean, I guess that's what she does when she's uncomfortable, but it's also making me uncomfortable watching her because I'm mad that you're giggling through this. It's taking away the seriousness of the situation. And I need this situation to be serious because I need Cody to understand what is happening, how he has really done Mary. And I need it to be on national television so everybody can witness what he is really doing. He brings up that Robin has been Mary's advocate. And I'm like, she's not your advocate. She's manipulated you to believe that there would ever be a relationship with a man she knew full well would never have a relationship with you. That's not advocacy. And we can almost guarantee that Cody has been telling Robin from day one all the things he didn't like about the other women, how he wanted to leave the other women. So anytime she was she's not validating anything. She's not advocating for anything. Only thing she's advocating for is for them to be in miserable relationships with a man that doesn't really love them. That's all she's done. And enter the WTF moment number 4 right now.
According to our religion, sister wives are supposed to advocate for each other. I have always advocated for Cody's relationships with his wives. And I feel like it's very important in order to live plural marriage successfully.
Like, Robin, the sister wife advocate? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Baby, I hope Christine, oh my God, I hope Christine and Janelle and Mary go off on her in this tell-all. I hope they just put it all out there. Oh my God, I cannot wait, y'all. Here we go. And also after this, after my WTF moment, Cody finally says out loud on camera that he will not be having a marriage with Mary, which we've all known that's what's going on. Robin, once again, is making it about her. She's stomping off. She needs to take a walk. She can't handle this conversation. And ultimately, Mary is tired of being the whipping boy. It's not you, Robin. It's been Mary. She's the one. She's the one. And I think Robin actually realizes now that, guess what? Any of his anger or frustrations in life now are all going to come to her. And there's no more wives to take the brunt of his negativity. It's all going to go to you now. And you have to live with this man every day. You get exactly what you asked for. And I'm really proud of Mary for saying, I need to take care of myself. Cody decided this. Cody decided he didn't want the marriage. Mary's moving on. There we go. All right, y'all, we get to segment 6. It's finally the end is what I'm basically saying. It's to the end of Mary and Cody. I think it's pretty clear to say, you guys, that Cody doesn't want plural marriage, and he hasn't wanted it for years. And he's put all the blame of his marriage's failures on the women. He's taken no responsibility. And this is where I really wanted Mary to just share her feelings about what was going on. Like, don't gloss over it, Mary. Share your feelings about this, girl. This is your moment, and you deserve this moment. You deserve it. You're the first wife. You deserve this moment. You sat around this loveless marriage for years, hoping this man would come back, and he didn't. Have your feelings, girl. It was just terrible. Robin talking about how she can maybe stop this decision from being made. The decision's been made. It was made years ago when Cody abandoned her. It's been made for years. And it's abusive at this point to try to keep Mary around, so stop. Just stop it. Here we go now, Cody talking about, the act is easy. Performing his duties It's easy for him. He's disgusting. Not to mention, this man has not done his duties for any of them. He actually stopped doing his duties for all of them. He's actually the worst faker of all time. He's the worst at faking duty. He hasn't kept any of his duty commitments to any of the wives outside of Robin. None of them. He's kept none of his commitments. I love that Mary finally said she's not going to be a duty. Thank you, Mary, for not allowing yourself to just completely lower your standards to this point where you'd be a duty. And Robin says she fell in love with him because he loved his wives. And I bet you did. And then you had an affair with him, Robin. And then he left you. Sorry, he left his wives for you. So you loved him because he loved his wives, and then you had an affair. And then he left his wives for you. And this is what that looks like. This is what it looks like when you have an affair with somebody and they leave their wives. And then you're stuck with what comes after that. That's what this is. I think too with Mary, why he's okay with this is because he's had all the power, right? And all the decision making. And why he hated Christine's situation is because he had no power in that. Christine made that decision. Christine left him, and Christine did not look back. And he just could not stand not having power in that situation. And I think that's why he was so upset and he actually cared, because he had no power. But he doesn't care about Mary, and he only mildly cares about Janelle because he feels like he has more power in both of those situations. Also, I find it funny too, where Cody says about the agreement that he made with Robin, where they wouldn't be together if it was no longer a relationship that suited them and they weren't happy, and whatever the case may be. And I find it funny that Robin thinks you should end a marriage if you're not happy and it's not going well when it comes to her. But for everyone else, they have to hang on in these miserable relationships because of their religious beliefs. You get to get a divorce, but everybody else has to hang on and be miserable. Interesting. Ultimately, Robin, as sad as you can be, I don't know why you don't understand the fact that he broke whatever promises he made to you. I think he might have told you that he was okay with plural marriage to get you. And then once he got you, I think he systematically found ways in which to alienate the other wives so he could get rid of them and only be with you. He replaced his old wives with the new model. That's pretty much what happened. And yeah, that's the episode, y'all. It's time for the tell-alls. I'm so ready for the tell-alls. I'm looking forward to doing live reactions for my members, which I'll be giving a shout out to my 2 members. I have 2 members now, you guys. So thank you guys so much. Just Scrappin', Julie, thank you guys so much for joining and being a part of my membership. I'm really excited for my Red Lipstick lovers and my addicts to be able to see my live reactions to the tell-alls. And I'm hoping you guys to connect with my girls from Reality TV Cringe. Maybe we can hop on some live calls to talk about the tell-alls. If you guys have not stopped by Reality TV Cringe podcast, I love them so much. They are just spot on, and I just feel like we have a lot of some similar opinions about things, and we've just been really trying to support each other's channels as we're growing. So please support them if you can, and I'll definitely get with them to see if maybe we can do some lives, because I think it'll be so fun to get us all on a live chat. But that's it, y'all. Thank you so much. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the like button. If you want to look into memberships or anything like that, there's multiple tiers that you can be a part of if you want to do that. But until next time, I'll be dropping a video later this week. We've got to talk some more about some other stuff. But this episode, y'all, significantly better than some of these last ones we've been getting. This content was a lot better, and I'm here for it. Until next time, bye.